There is a lesson that every lifeguard is taught on their very first day of training. It is a lesson that contradicts every instinct of a good-hearted human being. It is a lesson that is harsh, brutal, and absolutely necessary for survival. The lesson is this: if a drowning man grabs you in a panic, you must fight him off. You must kick him away. You must push him back under the water if necessary. Why? Because a drowning man is not rational. He is in a state of primal, lizard-brain panic. He does not see you as a helper or a friend. He sees you as a flotation device. He sees you as a ladder to climb out of the abyss. He will climb on top of you. He will wrap his arms around your neck. He will push your head underwater to lift his own head an inch higher. He does not want to kill you. He just wants to breathe. But the result is the same. If you let him hold on to you, you both drown. Most of you watching this channel are operating with a savior complex. You are the strong ones. You are the smart ones. You are the ones with the vision, the discipline, and the resources. And because you are strong, you feel a moral obligation to save the weak. You look at your friends who are making terrible life choices, and you try to fix them. You look at your family members who are trapped in toxic cycles, and you try to heal them. You look at your partner who is drowning in their own insecurity, and you try to rescue them. You give them money. You give them advice. You give them your time. You give them your energy. You listen to their complaints for hours. You offer them solutions. You build the ladder and beg them to climb it. And what is the result? Do they climb out? Do they thank you? Do they change? No. They pull you down. They exhaust you. They resent you. They drain your bank account and your nervous system. And the moment you stop helping, the moment you say, "I can't do this anymore," they attack you. They call you selfish. They call you cold. You have spent your life trying to be the hero, but you have actually been the enabler. You have been intervening in the natural laws of cause and effect, preventing people from feeling the consequences of their own actions. And by doing so, you have kept them weak, and you have made yourself a victim. It is time to retire the lifeguard. It is time to understand that you cannot save people who are committed to their own destruction. It is time to learn the dark, necessary art of letting them drown. If you are ready to stop sacrificing your life for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you, then you are in the right place. Subscribe to the channel right now. We are breaking the chains of codependency today. Let's begin. The Savior. To stop this behavior, we must first understand where it comes from. Why do you feel the burning need to fix broken people? Why are you attracted to projects rather than partners? Why do you feel guilty when you are thriving and others are struggling? This is rarely about altruism. It is usually about codependency and control. The savior complex is a defense mechanism. It is a way to avoid your own pain by focusing on someone else's. If you are busy fixing your brother's addiction, you don't have to look at your own loneliness. If you are busy managing your partner's anxiety, you don't have to focus on your own career failures. Solving other people's problems gives you a hit of dopamine. It gives you a sense of purpose. It makes you feel needed. And feeling needed is the cheap substitute for being wanted. You have likely been conditioned, often in childhood, to believe that your value comes from your utility. Maybe you were the parentified child. Maybe your parents were emotionally immature, so you had to take care of them. You learned that love is something you earn by being a caretaker. You learned that if you stop fixing things, you will be abandoned. So, you go out into the world looking for broken things to fix. You subconsciously seek out people who are messy, chaotic, and damaged. Why? Because a damaged person needs you. A damaged person cannot leave you, or so you think. A healthy, sovereign, successful person does not need you to fix them. They just want you to be there. And that terrifies you, because if they don't need you, how can you control them? The savior complex is a covert power dynamic. When you help someone, you are in the one-up position. You are the strong one. They are the weak one. You are the teacher. They are the student. This feeds the ego. It makes you feel superior. Look at how much I do for them. I am such a good person. But this dynamic destroys intimacy. You cannot have a relationship with a project. You cannot respect someone you are constantly rescuing. And they cannot respect you because deep down they know you think they are incompetent. You must face the brutal truth. You are not saving them for them. You are saving them for you. You are using them to validate your own strength. And until you kill this need for validation, you will be surrounded by drowning people. The Karpman drama triangle. There is a psychological model that explains exactly how this trap works. It is called the Karpman drama triangle. There are 3 roles in every toxic interaction. The victim. Poor me, I am helpless, the world is unfair. The persecutor. It's all your fault, you are to blame. The rescuer. Let me help you, I can fix it. You enter the triangle as the rescuer. You see the victim suffering and you step in. You offer help. You offer money. You offer solutions. Here, let me pay your rent. Here, let me write your resume. Here, let me talk to your boss. But here is the twist. The triangle always rotates. The victim does not want to be fixed. If they were fixed, they would lose the attention and sympathy of being a victim. They would have to take responsibility. So, your help fails. Or they sabotage it. Then, you get frustrated. You say, I did everything for you. Why aren't you listening? Now, you shift from rescuer to persecutor. You are attacking them. And the victim shifts to persecutor. They say, you're controlling me. You think you're better than me. And then you shift to victim. I tried so hard, and they treated me like garbage. Poor me. This is the infinite loop of hell. Rescuer, persecutor, victim, rescuer. Round and round it goes. The only way to win is to step off the triangle. You must refuse to play any of the roles. When the victim says, poor me, you do not say, let me help. You say, that sounds hard. What are you going to do about it? You put the responsibility back on them. You refuse to rescue. And because you refuse to rescue, you never become the persecutor. And you never end up the victim. The biology of natural selection. Let's look at this from a colder, more biological perspective. Nature operates on the principle of consequences. If an animal is lazy, it starves. If an animal makes a mistake, it gets eaten. Pain is the teacher. Failure is the feedback mechanism. Pain tells the organism, your current strategy is not working. Adapt or die. When you save people from the consequences of their actions, you are interfering with natural selection. You are short-circuiting their feedback loop. If your friend spends all his money on gambling and you pay his rent, what lesson did he learn? He learned that he can gamble and still have a roof over his head. He learned that there is no pain associated with his bad behavior. So, he will gamble again. In fact, he will gamble more because you have removed the risk. This is called moral hazard. By paying his rent, you are actively participating in his destruction. You are funding his addiction. You are subsidizing his stupidity. You are not helping him. You are crippling him. You are preventing him from hitting rock bottom. And for many people, rock bottom is the only place where the ego cracks enough to let the light in. Rock bottom is where the transformation happens. Rock bottom is where they finally realize, I have to change. When you put a pillow at the bottom of the cliff, you rob them of the impact that could save their life. You are loving them to death. True love, tough love, stands back and lets them hit the floor. Because only when they are on the floor can they learn how to stand up. You cannot do the push-up for them. If you lift the weight for them, their muscles will atrophy. You think you are being kind, but you are making them weak. Rescued. There is a paradox in human nature that Robert Greene explores in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. And Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. But the deepest law here is about gratitude versus resentment. We like to think that if we help people, they will be grateful. The opposite is usually true. If you help someone too much, they will eventually hate you. Why? Because your help is a constant reminder of their own inadequacy. Every time you give them money, it reminds them that they cannot earn it. Every time you solve their problem, it reminds them that they are not smart enough to solve it themselves. Your generosity is a mirror that reflects their weakness. No man wants to look into that mirror. So, to shatter the mirror, they must shatter you. This is why the friend you loaned money to stops calling you. They can't look you in the eye because they owe you. The debt creates a power imbalance that destroys the friendship. This is why the partner you fixed eventually leaves you for someone else. They want a fresh start, where they don't have to be the broken one. Benjamin Franklin famously said, "He that has once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obliged." This is the Ben Franklin effect. People like you more when they help you because it makes them feel strong. People like you less when you help them because it makes them feel weak. If you want to be loved, stop being the hero. Stop trying to buy affection with favors. Stop trying to earn your place in the tribe by being the beast of burden. If you have to work this hard to be kept around, you are in the wrong room. Vampire dynamic. We must also talk about the energy vampires, covered in video number 15 and number 19, but we go deeper here. There are people in this world who are black holes. No matter how much light you pour into them, it is never enough. They are bottomless pits of need. They feed on your emotional reaction. The savior is the vampire's favorite meal. The savior has a bleeding heart. The vampire smells the blood. They will tell you their sob stories. They will play the poor me card perfectly. They hook you with pity. My boss is so mean. My ex is crazy. The world is against me. You listen. You care. You pour energy into them. And they feed. They feel better for a moment, but they do not change. They do not want to solve the problem. The problem is their identity. The problem is their food source. If they solved the problem, they would have nothing to complain about, and they would get no sympathy. You have to realize that you are being harvested. Your empathy is being weaponized against you. You are not a therapist. You are a battery. And once you are drained, they will discard you and find a fresh battery. The only way to win against a vampire is to close the vein. Stop giving the reaction. Stop giving the pity. That sounds tough. And then change the subject. I'm sure you'll figure it out. And then walk away. Deny them the energy. Watch how fast they leave you alone. They will go find another savior. Let them. The sovereignty of the soul. Restitution, a spiritual dimension to this. You must respect the sovereignty of other souls. You must respect their right to fail. You must respect their right to ruin their lives. This sounds cold, but it is actually the highest form of respect. When you try to save someone, you are essentially saying, "You are not capable of handling your own life. I know better than you. I will take over." This is arrogance. This is a God complex. Who are you to interfere with their karma? Who are you to decide what lessons they need to learn? Maybe they need to lose that job to find their true calling. Maybe they need to go through that divorce to find their strength. Maybe they need to go bankrupt to learn humility. When you intervene, you are blocking their curriculum. You are stealing their lessons. You are playing God. Step down from the throne. Let them walk their path, even if their path leads off a cliff. You can warn them. You can say, "Hey, there's a cliff there." But if they keep walking, you must let them fall. You cannot tackle them. You cannot tie them up for their own good. Free will is the fundamental law of the universe. You cannot violate it, even with good intentions. Focus on your own path. Focus on your own karma. You have enough demons of your own to fight. You have enough mountains of your own to climb. Why are you messing with someone else's map? Tactical protocols. How to stop saving. This is a hard habit to break. It is an addiction. Here are the tactical protocols for the unsinkable sovereign. Protocol 1. The "not my circus, not my monkeys" mantra. When you see chaos, when you hear the drama, when you feel the urge to step in, repeat this mantra. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Visualize a glass wall between you and their problem. You can see it, but you cannot touch it. It is their movie. You are just in the audience. Do not jump on the stage. Protocol 2. The match energy rule. Never care more about someone's problem than they do. If they are not willing to do the work, neither are you. If they ask for help looking for a job, ask them, "Send me the 5 jobs you applied to today, and I'll look them over." If they didn't apply to any, you don't help. If they ask for money, ask them, "Show me your budget and what expenses you cut." If they didn't cut expenses, you don't pay. Make them have skin in the game. If they are doing 10% of the work, you do 0%. If they are doing 100% of the work, you can give them a 10% boost, but never carry the load. Protocol 3. The wait for the ask rule. Do not offer unsolicited advice, ever. Unsolicited advice is criticism. It creates defensiveness. Wait for them to ask. "What do you think I should do?" Even then, proceed with caution. Instead of giving the answer, ask a question. "I don't know. What do you think you should do?" Force them to think. Force them to own the solution. If you give them the solution, it's your solution. If it fails, they blame you. If they come up with the solution, it's theirs. Protocol 4. The resource gate. Set a hard limit on your resources. I do not lend money to friends. Make this a policy. I am not available for phone calls after 8 p.m. I can't help you move this weekend. Get comfortable with the word no. No is a complete sentence. You do not need to justify it. I can't. Why? Because I can't. End of discussion. Protocol 5. The empathy switch. Learn to switch from emotional empathy to cognitive empathy. Emotional empathy is feeling what they feel. They are sad, so you become sad. This drains you. Cognitive empathy is understanding what they feel without absorbing it. I see that you are sad. I understand why. But I am still calm. Be a doctor. A doctor sees a patient with a broken leg. The doctor understands the pain. But the doctor does not scream in pain. If the doctor screamed, he couldn't set the bone. Remain detached. Remain clinical. I see you are suffering. That is unfortunate. Maintain your emotional frame. Do not let their storm enter your ship. The freedom of letting go. When you finally stop saving people, you will feel a massive release. The weight of the world will drop off your shoulders. You will realize how much energy you were wasting on impossible tasks. You will have all this extra energy to pour into yourself, into your business, your body, your art, your mission. And a strange thing will happen. When you stop trying to save people, some of them will actually start saving themselves. Because you are no longer the safety net, they are forced to learn how to fly. Your absence becomes the catalyst for their growth. And the ones who don't fly, the ones who crash, they were going to crash anyway. You just delayed it. Now, at least, you aren't in the car with them. You will become a lighthouse, not a lifeboat. A lifeboat rows around frantically trying to pick people up and often capsizes. A lighthouse stands on the rock. It shines a light. It says, "Here is the dangerous water. Here is the safe harbor." It does not run into the ocean to grab the ships. The ships must steer themselves. If they ignore the light and crash on the rocks, the lighthouse does not cry. It just keeps shining. Be the lighthouse. Stand firm. Shine your light. And let the ocean be the ocean. I want you to make a decision today. Identify the one person you have been trying to save, the one project that is draining your soul. Release them. Mentally cut the cord. Tell yourself, I resign as the general manager of the universe. I resign as their savior. I give them back their destiny. And I want to ask you a question in the comments, one that requires you to drop the mask. Who is the person you are trying to save right now? And what is it costing you? Is it your peace? Your money? Your sanity? Name the cost, and decide if you are willing to keep paying it. Welcome to the void. Welcome to strategic solitude.